Hi Capricorn, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if this is your first time here. So this is going to be a love and spirituality reading for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. And I'm also going to be doing an extended video, so make sure you check the description box down below when you are finished watching this one. So Capricorn, let's see what's going on for the month of December. When I was pulling cards for you earlier, the Ten of Swords came out along with the Ace of Pentacles. So some of you could have undergone some type of painful ending. I don't even recall what your reading was about last month, so I can't even like reference that reading. But I definitely was picking up energy of a cycle coming to an end, or just a very painful situation coming to a close. And the way that it ended, it was like it ended in a way that you couldn't go back even if you wanted to. Like even if you tried to go back and continue to offer this energy to the situation, it just wouldn't work. So it's like one of those endings where it's final, like the door is closed and you can no longer wonder like, oh, is this person coming back or should I go back? It's like case closed, it's over and done with finally. And that can be a bit painful, but then that could also be very relieving, because it's better than being in limbo and wondering, you know, is the past going to come back, or should I go back there, or should I try to put more work in? It's like things are finalized, so you know exactly what it is, and you're able to make decisions moving forward based off of what it is instead of what it has the potential to be. So let's pull this back some so I have room. Okay. So let's pull for your past, Capricorn. So the Four of Cups comes out in the reverse. That's good. And the Ten of Pentacles. And then, like I said, the Ten of Swords pops up at the bottom of your deck. So definitely a painful ending that took place, but it looks like for a lot of you, after this ending took place, you were determined to remove yourself from that energy. So it's like you're trying to move forward. Well, this is in the past. So in the past, once this ending took place, you were determined to move forward and to not look back, which is a very positive thing. Trying to look towards your future, look towards abundance and the things that are going to make you happy long term. A lot of you could have been focusing on your career or on your work in order to not look back at the situation, which is a very Capricorn trait. See if I'm picking up anything else from this. I hear that some of you are wanting to move, or you're saving up in order to relocate, and I feel like that's something that will be positive. It's like a fresh, clean start somewhere else is what I'm hearing, and that will help to remove you from whatever this past energy was as well. So it's like you were already determined to leave this past situation behind, but I feel like making some type of drastic move or change in your life that you've been planning is going to help that energy to completely fall away, and you're going to start a completely new cycle of your life. So a lot of you have been really focused on building up, like I said, wealth, or building up money, and thinking about long-term wealth instead of just thinking about, okay, I'm just making this money to pay my bills. Of course, you're worried about that as well, because again, Capricorns are very responsible when it comes to their money, their finances, their career. But I feel like a lot of you are not just thinking short-term, you're thinking long-term success and wealth, which is a good thing. And that's also something that's going to help that past energy to fall away, because you have a long-term goal to look forward to. So that is very positive. And I'm hearing that for some of you, that Ten of Pentacles actually represents a long-term partnership that you were in, but now you're ready to move past it and you don't want to even look back at it. So this is good. Good energy, Capricorn. Very future focused. And that's what I love about Capricorns. They are able to, it's not that they're robots, because a lot of people think that Capricorns are just robotic and they're cold and they just don't care. It's not that, but it's just that Capricorns have the ability to kind of remove their emotions from the situation, because they know that there are more important things that need to be handled and need to be done. So Capricorns are very future focused, and they know exactly where they need to invest their energy in order to have a positive outcome in the long term. So if you're cross-watching for a Capricorn and you want to understand them, there you go. And I have a Capricorn Venus and stellium in my chart, so I know firsthand. So let's pull for the present, Capricorn. The Hanged Man. Okay. Some of you could have been in the King of Cups. Some of you could have been dealing with a Pisces or a water sign, or just someone who you were extremely emotionally invested in, or someone who was extremely emotionally invested in you. Someone who's very sensitive is what I'm hearing. They could have a water sign moon, or it could be you that has a water sign moon as well, or a lot of water in your chart. So with the Hangman and the King of Cups, I feel like in the present moment, it's kind of weird, because I feel like in the past you were so determined to move past whatever the situation was. But then in the present moment, it looks like now you're feeling stuck. Very interesting. And you could be feeling stuck, from what I'm hearing, because this person could be trying to keep you stuck. So in the present, it could be someone from your past or someone who you're still interacting with who has very strong feelings for you that's trying to keep you stuck. Or this could be your energy. It could go vice versa. You could be trying to keep someone else stuck that has feelings for you. I need to clarify that. Yeah, if you know that a person is very emotionally attached to you, be very careful with the way that you're interacting with them, because you could possibly be keeping them, like giving them some type of false hope, possibly, or it could be someone doing this to you. Because the King of Cups is someone who has kind of mastered their emotions to the point where they can make very logical decisions based off of their mind while keeping their emotions to themselves. It's like someone who's mastered, like the King of Cups is someone who has mastered their emotions, but to me, I read it as someone who has mastered their mind and their heart. So when they do have emotions, they don't necessarily have to show it outwardly, because they're able to logically see when they need to hold it in or when they need to keep it to themselves. And sometimes somebody with that energy can be a bit manipulative. If it's someone who, like I said, knows when to keep their emotions hidden and when to show them, it can kind of cause them to manipulate other people's thoughts or other people's emotions based off of them withholding their own. So be careful that you're not doing this, even if it's not on purpose. You could be possibly doing this to someone, like withholding your emotions, and they could be trying even harder to get you to open up. So be very careful of that, because you could be keeping this person very stuck, and it's almost like selling someone a dream, and you may not be doing this purposely. And for some of you, though, this is being done to you. It's like some King of Cups person who has a lot of water in their chart, or it's like they're very good at emotional manipulation in some way. And I don't feel like it's done maliciously. I just feel like this person just likes to protect themselves emotionally, and they know when to keep their emotions to themselves. And sometimes that can keep you very stuck on a person when you have feelings for them and you want them to open up to you, or you want to be intimate with them or have that connection with them. And it's like this wall up or this blockage. It can cause you to kind of try even harder. So this could go either way. This could be you doing this to somebody, or someone doing this to you. For some of you, I'm seeing that it's not a person that's necessarily in your life presently, that this is just, it's like your heart space opening up is what I'm hearing. Like some of you are starting to feel very emotional or sentimental out of nowhere, and you are quite confused about it. Again, I feel like it's weird, because in the past, it's this very Capricorn energy of focusing on work and not looking back. But now it's like some type of emotion is awakening within you out of nowhere, and you're kind of like stuck and wondering where this is coming from. You could be realizing that you have stronger feelings for someone than you thought that you did. You could be realizing that you're not over someone who you thought you were over. I'm hearing some type of like spiritual enlightenment as well. I think that's all I'm getting for that. Let's move on to, yeah, because that message is like, I'm hearing it, but I'm not, and it's giving me a headache. So some of you could be very much in your head about your emotions and trying to rationalize your emotions, or logically explain your emotions away instead of actually feeling them. So that could be some type of spiritual lesson that some of you are undergoing, learning how to sit with your emotions and feelings, and to not be so afraid of them, or to not demonize them. Because I feel like for a lot of you, the last thing you want is to be stuck because of your feelings. It's like you don't want to experience feeling so overwhelming that it keeps you in this position of being stuck. So you just try to rush through the feelings quite quickly in order to get over them. But there might be a lesson in learning how to acknowledge your feelings and learning how to not feel like you have to run from them, because feelings are nothing to be afraid of. And again, it's a very Capricorn energy to be like, okay, but I have better things to do than to sit around in my feelings. But be careful of that, because you are basically dismissing yourself when you do that. You're like turning your back on yourself whenever you demonize your own feelings and say to yourself, I don't have time for this. It's like you're telling yourself, I don't have time for you. You're not worth my time. You know, so be very mindful of that. If there is an individual that you are dealing with that has that King of Cups energy, that's withholding emotions or playing some type of emotional games, you gotta leave that person in 2018. I'm so sick of that energy coming up. Like, the energy has come up in a couple different readings for the past couple months of people just being emotionally manipulative. And it's like, come on, people. Why can't we just be straightforward? Why do we have to play games, you know? So I know you're sick of it, because I am sick of it. Alright, so let's pull for December, Capricorn. Oh, okay. King of Pentacles. That's your card. Tower card. Ooh, and the Lover's card. Okay. So the month of December is looking very prosperous for you, Capricorn. So the King of Pentacles, that usually is the earth sign energy, so I'm reading that as your energy. You are going to continue to do what you do best, focusing on yourself, focusing on your money, your abundance, and just really planning your life out long term and putting that energy and action into the things that you want out of life. And of course, getting exactly what you put into those things, which again, very Capricorn trait. Capricorns know how to really set their eye on a target and work and work and work until they manifest that goal into their reality. So it looks like December, that's the energy that's coming in. The Tower card is in the reverse. So I'm getting two different messages from this. For some of you, you're trying to continue to work to avoid disaster. Like you're trying to avoid some type of catastrophe by focusing on work. So for that group, I feel like what this Tower moment is, it's literally just you facing your feelings. Like the Tower moment is usually something that goes on, like a breakup, a sudden like death in the family, like something like that. But I feel like it's none of that for you. I feel like it's just you facing your emotions. That's what you are most afraid of. So you would rather just focus on your work, or you rather just focus on, you know, things long term, which is not a bad thing, because it's actually very smart to focus on the things that you can control and the things that you know, you have power over, instead of allowing those feelings to come up, because allowing feelings to come up can sometimes make you feel powerless. But there's also a lot of strength and power in acknowledging your feelings and being able to sit with them and being able to nurture yourself. That's also very powerful. So take that into consideration in the month of December. Don't see your emotions as like a weakness or like a weak point that you need to overcome. It's very possible for you to be focused on your work, be focused on your career, be focused on abundance, and also give yourself time to feel those feelings. That's how you balance out your masculine and your feminine energy. Capricorn is a very, very masculine sign. So people with a lot of Capricorn in their charts, like I said, they have the ability to really master the material world, to really master their finances in their career. But sometimes what they're lacking is that feminine energy, that spiritual, intuitive, soft, emotional energy that all of us have within us. So it's a need for you to balance both of those out. And the Lover's card is here. So that lets me know that there's a need for you to balance out your masculine and feminine energy, so that you can become whole and you can become, basically it's like, how do I explain it? It's like becoming one within yourself. You know, it's like that masculine and that feminine energy that resides within all of us kind of, what is it called? Integrating in order for you to feel whole as a person. So it, with the Lover's card here, that lets me know that it's a spiritual transformation that you're going through. It reminds me of the twin flame journey when I'm picking up. Some of you could be the runner in the twin flame journey, or you could be the chaser as well. But it doesn't have to be twin flame. It could be any soulmate cycle where there's a runner and there's a chaser. If you watch Angelic Karma on YouTube, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. You can go and check out her channel on soulmates. But usually with soulmate cycles, there's a runner, there's a chaser. And the runner has a lot of masculine energy, so they're not in touch with their feelings, so they run away from their feelings and from the person that they were dealing with. And the chaser has too much feminine energy, so they will be too sensitive and they will chase after someone. And the point of those cycles is for each person to kind of adopt a little bit of that energy from the other. So if you have too much masculine energy and your heart space is closed off, it's like taking some of that feminine energy and integrating it within and learning how to work with your emotions. And on the flip side, if you have too much feminine energy and you're hyper emotional or hypersensitive, it's about taking some of that masculine energy and integrating it so that then you can be more focused on your finances, be more focused on setting boundaries, be more disciplined. You know what I'm saying? I hope that did not confuse you. For some of you, this Lover's card is representing someone who you know that you have this very strong spiritual connection with, but you're fearing that there's going to be disaster with this person for some reason. I'm really confused as to what's going on here. Because I don't feel like it's an external disaster. I feel like it's an internal, like you're fearing heartache possibly, or I'm a bit confused. I'm a bit confused, Capricorn. So we're going to move on to the extended because this reading, I feel like it's going to go on for like a half hour if I keep on pulling. So we're going to move on to the extended